This is Double O Direct, a safe space for all women. And if there's one thing you need to do right now, it is to share your investment questions. What, where, how, why, using at SpiceFM KE, any of our socials. Right now, though, it is my pleasure to welcome back to Double O Direct investment expert and CEO of Infallible Group, Mbithe Muema. Madam, I have a question. Swali ya kwanza. Every time I see you, you are even more gorgeous than the last. Okay, fine. We'll offline. We'll offline that conversation. You're not here for that. We're here to discuss money. So make me rich, richer, richest.
Olivia, it's always such a pleasure to be here. And to you too. You look glamorous. Your hair, your makeup, your outfits. I was like, where are you going when we just come into the studio?
Takes me 3 hours. At my age, let me not lie to you. I get up around 3 a.m.
I know.
I start scraping off the dead skin. Goes on from there. But seriously, Mbithe,
yes.
2022 is, because of elections, what we call a short financial year. Yeah. What can people do to build a little bit of a nest egg, to start on the investment journey? We're in what now? Almost end of February.
Yes.
What can be done?
I think any single day you wake up, there are numerous investment opportunities for you. It just depends on where you're at and what you're trying to do.
Yes.
So if we focus on Kenya today, but you really can't focus on Kenya because investments have become global. However, when you look at Kenya today, of course, we expect volatility in markets largely because of the upcoming elections.
Yes.
What volatility means for you as an investor, Olivia, is you're always looking out and rubbing your hands and saying, I can't wait for it. If stocks go down 10%, it means they'll go up 10%. It's just a matter of time. If they go down 20%, they will go back up 20%.
So this is
just
a good
matter
thing.
of time. Yes, it is.
Okay, all right. So let's start with the micro investment.
Yes.
Let's start with somebody who has between 10,000 and 100,000 shillings.
Okay. All right. So when it comes to investments in Kenya, you're either investing in your business, so your active hustle, I'm waking up in the morning, I'm buying, I'm selling things for a profit. That would probably be a separate conversation. But when you're looking now at investments, it's what we call passive income. And it's so important for people to know what passive income is, because then you have to manage your expectations. Olivia, the same way I can put 10,000, go downtown, buy things, come and sell to you and everybody around here,
yes.
Mumbi and everybody who's around you,
yes.
and double that 10,000 to 20,000. It doesn't happen like that when it comes to passive income.
Okay.
What you do is when you make money from your active hustle, whether you're employed or you have a business, now you use investments to put money aside so that it's growing for you without your sweat. You're making your money sweat for you.
Yes.
Now, in that regard, there are numerous opportunities, at least in the capital markets and in the public space.
Yes.
Let's start off with the very basic money markets. Money markets, you open an account, you put your money and it grows.
Yes.
Money markets today in Kenya, they're giving you anything between 8.5% to 10% in a year.
Okay.
So what you do, it's become so easy to open. I think there are even banks that launched new products last week. You just go on your phone, open up the app and set it up for yourself.
Yes.
Why it's important, it's people say 10% Mbithe ni kidogo.
It sounds kidogo.
No, let me tell you how it's a lot, because you know when you put that money in a savings account, how much does it earn you?
How much?
0 or at best 2.5%.
So you're telling me all my millions that are in the bank are not earning me anything?
No, unless you've put a fixed deposit to them. If you've put a fixed deposit, you're lucky if you're earning 7.5. Okay. SACCOs give you 7.5%.
Okay.
If you're earning on that 1 million.
Yes.
If you put it as a fixed deposit in the bank, maybe you get 6.5 to 7%.
Okay.
You're getting better value if you actually move that 1 million into a money market, because you can get 8 or 9% depending on the money market
How
manager.
safe is it?
Very safe. Very safe. Most of them are actually run by banks.
Okay.
So these are banking institutions that are running them. And the largest actually has about close to 60 billion in terms of the value of the assets that they're holding.
So you're not going to lose your money?
No.
Okay.
The way you will lose your money is at times what people tend to do, and this I've found, is someone says, if Olivia's giving me 9 and Mbithe is giving me 10, I want 10. But what people fail to ask themselves,
yes,
if it's a million, 10% of a million is 100,000.
True.
9% of a million is 90,000. The difference is only 10,000.
Yes.
What people fail to do is to move to the next level and ask, if I give my money to Olivia, will I sleep soundly at night?
You will sleep very soundly. Trust me, I am very trustworthy. My number, you can M-Pesa me or money.
Anytime, just move it.
Yes.
And if you give your money to me, so people say they look for return and they forget to ask themselves, is this institution capable of safeguarding my money?
Yes.
Size is important.
Okay.
The same way you'd put your savings in a random account, don't put your money market in places that don't necessarily have the wherewithal or the corporate governance or even the longevity.
Yes.
Bigger is always better.
Bigger is always better. You heard it. You heard it on Double O Direct. I'm Olivia Otieno. This is Double O Direct, woman host, music by women artists, and I'm dressed by a different woman in fashion each week. Please share your investment questions. What, where, when, how, using SpiceFM KE on our socials. Because I'm giving you something amazing. Free expert advice courtesy of one Mbithe Muema. Now, have you noticed, Mbithe, that all the songs I'm playing are about cash?
Oh, yes. I was about to give you like a comeback. I was like, okay, Gwen needs another song. We need to stop wishing that we were rich girls and she should be singing about now we are rich girls. Like, so what are we doing with all our wealth and our riches?
I love it. So tell me about the fundamentals of actually earning cash, the cash that you want to invest.
So I love the songs and I love what you're talking about, Olivia. You can't invest without cash. You can't even, I don't even know how you live in Nairobi without earning money. So the first thing in all of this conversation is, how am I actually making my money and how can I make even more? So remember, we're talking about investments. Let's back that conversation. Now, how do you earn? So you're either going to go and get a job or you're going to find a business that makes sense to you. And there's a keyword that I learned from, again, the guy who dresses me.
Yes,
he's called
yes.
Jamens.
Yes.
So he's in Jamia Mall. So anytime I go see him, actually, at times I go buy dresses because I need more motivation. So he says, Mbithe, jitume.
Jitume. What does that mean?
Send yourself.
Okay.
Like you always have to send yourself somewhere every single day. Decide, what am I doing? How am I going to do it? And keep doing it every day.
Yes.
Now, when you look at Nairobi, the opportunities are numerous. We have about 5 million people who are coming into Nairobi from the suburbs, from inside of Nairobi each and every single day. Ask yourself, what can I sell to even 1% of these people? I think the easiest business you can do is buying and selling. I sell services. It's a little bit harder.
Yes.
But I'm at the point of like, now I'm like, what am I going to sell? Is it
Yes.
a cup every month to 500,000 people? Fine.
Okay.
Is it a razor? Those are the things that I'm thinking of. But
Yes.
you can't be able to be rich if you're not earning. When we
Okay.
say jitume, you have to figure out what is it that I'm going to sell each and every single day so that it can be able to generate money. Having a till, like I think the best thing is I have a till, and at times I'm the happiest as a businesswoman
Yes.
when I'm just like, ka-ting, it's a kabambe phone, and I'm like, ka-ting. I'm like, yes, I
For us,
sold
it's
something.
Twitter.
You guys aren't from Twitter?
No, we're not earning. They're just tweets that come
It's
in
just tweets.
unnecessarily. We need
Fantastic.
tills.
Now when people need tails. You're just
Yeah.
like ka-ting, like you hear Twitter ka-ting, ka-ching,
Love it.
literally ka-ching. So figure out what you're earning.
Okay.
But before even as you're thinking about earning, the thing is you have to incorporate personal finance principles if you're going to build money, wealth for yourself. Now I like that your show is by women, for women. I think it's for a broader audience.
Yes.
But when it comes to men and women, we have different habits when it comes to money.
Really?
Yes, we do. Considerably different.
Okay.
Think about it. You and your male friends that you know,
Yes.
even in your family
Yes,
setup.
yes.
Women want to hold it back, nurture the money.
Yes,
You're like,
yes.
if you nurture
Pet
it,
it.
it doesn't grow.
Pet it a
You
little
pet
bit.
it, put it in a
Yeah,
savings account or
yeah,
somewhere under
yeah,
the mattress or close to
exactly.
that. Men will take the money and they'll be high risk. At times they do things that are a bit ridiculous and then they end up losing money. But let's not focus on that.
Yes.
So you hoarding money does not necessarily help you. But what you need to be doing as a woman is, where am I earning my money? When it comes in, how am I dividing it up?
Yes.
What's going to my groceries? I can assure you, women spend so much more money just on groceries and running the house, more often than not, than men spend on education and paying rent.
No.
Because the thing is, you don't look at your grocery shopping on a monthly basis. You don't look at it on an annual basis. It's today, 200. Tomorrow, 500.
Wait. Mbithe, let's just pause.
Yes.
There's never groceries that come in under 2,000.
Exactly.
I don't know where they're funneling this money
Exactly.
to. You leave, you just wanted to get some milk, maybe some maize.
And that's in
maybe
how many
some-
times in a week?
3-4 times.
So in a month?
It's a lot of money.
In a year?
I don't even want to talk about that. You're making me sad.
Exactly. So at times what happens is
Yeah.
now you find the woman says, oh, I'm taking the small items. I'm like, the small items are the biggest items in your house.
Because they're consistent and they're
They're
relentless.
consistent and they keep increasing in price. Whereas maybe the other partner is maybe taking up, I'm going to pay for the rent, I'm going to pay for education.
Yeah.
So they're big on a one-off basis, but cumulatively they're not.
Exactly.
So when you talk about personal finance, where am I earning, but where am I dividing the money? And this needs to be a household conversation. If it's not a household conversation, if you're not in a partnership with somebody,
Yes.
if you're a single mother,
Yes.
if you're a single lady, it
Yes.
needs to be a conversation with yourself. What am I spending on? Because you can't keep earning money
Yes.
and then almost 70% of it is going to consumption.
So the personal finance principles,
Yes.
the ones that we need to retain today are,
Make money,
yes,
budget for it.
yes.
Now, after you budget for it, I don't know if you want to take us to another song, because it's not just about getting rich and earning the money.
Yes.
Budget for it. Now, the fallacy that most people make is when they're budgeting, they don't budget for savings and investments. Your money won't grow if you're only buying milk from today for the next 20 years.
You've left me speechless.
Spice.
Mbithe Muema, CEO, Infallible Group, and investment expert. Mbithe has promised to make me rich, richer, richest.
Oh, yes, Olivia, we have to make these things happen. We can't just be singing about them. We have to be about them.
We have to be
We
about
have to be
them.
about them. So first thing, Olivia, you have to earn the money. At least earn the money. If you're not earning the money, we can't have a conversation of money. So you can't keep sitting saying, I'm not earning. Like, figure it out. Like, sit down with your friends, challenge yourself. There's so many ways that you can be able to earn money. We have social media. It's become like the greatest thing for people here in Kenya.
Yes.
The digital world, you can earn so much money. Earn that money, plan for it. Now, the best way you can plan for that money, ensure that your regular expenses are not over 50%.
Okay, so whatever you are earning,
Yes.
your regular expenses cannot exceed 50%. And those regular expenses include?
Utilities, rent, groceries, gas, electricity, Wi-Fi, all these things.
Okay.
50% is an ideal. Most people, at least the clients that we've engaged with, tend to be about 70%, because either people are earning lower levels of income
Yes.
from their businesses or from their work, so that it's very hard for them to be able to manage.
And is that a Kenya problem? That's a global thing.
It's an African problem.
Okay.
I mean, of course, you can't compare us to the United States. United States, the average wage there is considerably higher than here. Here, when you look at the statistics, it's only a handful of people who earn over 100,000.
And housing, I mean, everything is so expensive.
Everything is expensive.
Yeah.
So perhaps it's a motivation for people to settle down and share the bills with you. Nonetheless.
Yeah.
The thing is, if you're able to figure out and imagine if you spend only 50% of what you earn, you're left with 50% to invest.
Yes.
And then you just keep investing. I can guarantee you the secrets to wealth,
Yes.
the secrets to riches, they're not in heaven. They are here. They're very basic.
Okay.
Figure out what you need to do.
Yes.
Where am I earning from? What am I spending on? Can I fix my spending holes? If
Okay.
not, can I earn more? Can I have 2-3 hustles? I'm doing X, I'm doing Y, I'm doing Z.
You were talking about Treasury bills. You're talking
Yes.
about compound interest
Yes.
while Fergie was singing her song.
Yes.
Expound on that.
Before I expound on compound
Yeah.
interest, I know you're really
I am
excited about investments, but hold up.
Yes.
Why you can't be excited about investments is most people want to understand investments. They don't ask themselves if they have the ability to invest.
Okay, so how do you get the ability to invest?
Earn your money.
Yes.
Figure out where your money is going.
Yes.
If you have debt, figure out how to manage debt.
Are
Most-
we as Kenyans
Yes.
caught up in
Oh, yeah, we are.
an incurable debt cycle?
It's such a funny thing because I think the philosophy and the ethos that we have as Kenyans is debt is a source of income.
What?
People
Wait. No. Pause. What did you just say?
People view debt as a source of income. It's a thing that plugs in your expense holes in every month. So if you talk to people, the people who are always on using either Fuliza or these apps,
Yes.
it's a regular customer. So I am
Like,
sitting
girl, don't
here.
worry, I'm going to take you out tonight. He's just going to top up his... Okay.
So there are two types of people who borrow. They're the guys who borrow from Friday to Sunday.
Yes.
The guys for #Sharehe.
Uh-huh.
And then there are the traders. They borrow every day, Monday to Friday, from 4 to 6 in the morning. They've paid back.
Wait. Debt is viewed as a source of income.
It is. Because what happens is I sit down as Mbithe. I know I have to pay rent.
Yes.
I have to pay school fees, groceries, etc., etc., etc. Perhaps my income is not enough, but I have...
Bills. But you have a source, you have an
You have mobile apps.
Yes.
So they'll give me and then they give me 30 days. It's like a credit card in the Western world.
Okay. how much of a sinkhole do you fall into?
Oh, it's massive, man.
Give me those statistics.
Massive.
Roughly. Don't name any names.
Okay.
Just give me some statistics.
Let's put it this way.
Yeah.
If you keep depending on debt to fill your expenditure hole, every single month you're paying at least 10% on that debt.
Yes.
For 1 month. Remember on our conversation on investments, it's very hard the best investments in Kenya today are probably giving you 15%
Yes.
passive income in 1 year, which is about 1% or slightly above 1% in a month.
Yes.
So what you're saying is you're paying someone 10% every month. If you had that money and put it aside, you'd only earn 1%
On it.
So you're already putting yourself in a hole. But then you're doing it every single month. 10 times 12 is about 120%.
Yes.
So what are you doing? Your grind is not growing your investments. It's not making you richer. It's making somebody else richer.
So are we living beyond our means?
Yes, in one way or the other. And it's either you have to figure out two things.
Yes.
Do I want to continue my life on debt? Or now the element of compound interest that you're bringing in.
Yes.
That's the most magical concept of wealth that you'll ever interact with, either from me or from anybody else.
Yes.
Because what compound interest does for you is what you are doing for the lenders.
That is incredible.
You're making money for the lenders. When you start to invest and you start to not pull your investments out, keep reinvesting,
Yes.
then you're actually earning money over money over money, and it's working for you. And you just need like a 5 or even 7 year plan of doing the same thing.
So we have this citizen,
Yes.
this listener, right? They have between 10,000 shillings to 100,000 shillings. Now, this is money they have worked for.
And they've put aside for
And they've
investments.
put aside for investments.
Yes.
They said they were living and spending about 70% of their income on, daily activities. Now they've shifted that down to 50%.
Yes.
And they managed to have that 20%.
That's 10,000 shillings extra.
And they saved.
Okay.
Right?
So every single month you're asking how you're going to do it. So there are very many ways to skin a cat. Same way with investments. That's why I normally say, when it comes to investments, personalize a conversation, Olivia. What makes sense for you might not make sense for me.
True.
So when people ask me, Mbithe, what do I invest in? They want me to give them that magic number.
Yes.
But I take a step back and ask, where are you at in life? What are your objectives? Let's have a scenario of 3 women in this conversation.
Yes.
So let's have a scenario of somebody maybe who's 25 to 32.
Mumbi.
Mumbi.
We'll call her Mumbi.
Mumbi. So
Yes.
Mumbi, let's use Mumbi as our
Yes.
case study. So
Yes.
maybe Mumbi is single. Maybe she doesn't have children and she has a good job. So she's able to put...
How do you know Mumbi so well?
Mumbi.
Oh my goodness. Just throw in intelligence and
Just
beauty. and that's
intelligence,
her.
beauty, etc.
yeah.
So Mumbi, when I came here, she looked lovely in her red dress.
Yes.
So the thing that we do as women, we think buying clothes and shoes is an investment.
Tell me it's an investment.
It's not.
Tell me no. Mumbi, come and take this lady out.
An investment earns you a return.
Okay.
Let me tell you a different way of looking at this, Olivia. In 10 or 20 years, what will you do with the clothes?
Do you know what I do?
Uh-huh.
I just give them back after I wear them today. Someone told me
That's a good strategy. But if you
Olivia,
had to buy them,
I would never. I would have one outfit like Steve Jobs, like Giorgio Armani,
yes,
and that guy on Facebook. And I told Nani.
Zuckerberg.
I know. One outfit, and it would trust me, it would work for me. But yes, I see what you're saying.
So
I
what
see
we're trying to
you're
say,
saying.
it needs to earn your return. So let's go
Yes.
back to Mumbi.
Yes.
So Mumbi, for now, you're done figuring out your monthly expenses, and because Mumbi is employed,
Yes.
she's in a better position to plan for her finances. So what we start off with Mumbi is we say, Mumbi, you need to put money aside for an emergency fund.
Okay.
At least 6 months worth of your current income. Open a money market fund.
Okay.
Put your money there.
Yes.
What a money market fund does for you, it earns you interest. Your
Yes.
bank is at 0
Yes.
to 2%.
Yes.
Your money market is between 8 and 10%.
Okay.
Second thing your money market does for you, you only need 2 days notice to pull
Get it
money
out.
out.
Great for emergencies.
If there's no within 2 days you can fund an emergency. Maybe
Yes.
someone was sick, etc. Like within
Perfect.
2 days you can fund it.
Yes,
Don't
yes.
leave money lying idle in the bank. Move it. The first thing is move it to a money market.
Yes.
Then once you achieve that goal,
Yes.
the thing about looking up at your wealth, you're like, I want to build it like a house. My foundation, money market. When I start making money, now go to the next element of assets.
Yes.
Now start asking yourself, what else can I do? We have the Central Bank of Kenya that issues Treasury bills.
Yes.
You can either make an investment for 1 year. A Treasury bill is something that you invest in for 1 year or less.
Yes.
Or you can invest in the longer dated papers.
Yes.
The longer dated are 10 years and above.
Yes.
Just have a revolving fund of, I open an account with Central Bank.
Yes.
Put my money in the 1 year.
Okay.
So the money that I don't need for emergency, anything above that.
Minimum amount?
Minimum amount
T-bills?
for T-bills is 50,000.
Okay.
So 50,000.
Yeah.
So
So
you're
we're
net
not
50.
going to Dubai, Mumbi.
So before you go to Dubai,
We're still investing in, I know she's mad at me. We'll talk.
So before you go to Dubai, so for the central bank instruments, you need between 50,000 to 100,000, depending on the particular instrument that you're putting your money into. So if we say open an account and then just have a 1-year revolving, most of my clients, people who come back to me with millions, they just say they started with a lump sum. Maybe they took 100,000, 500,000.
Yes.
They put it into the 1 year,
Yeah.
and then every single month that 10,000 they continued putting it.
Okay.
Because there's a treasury bill auction every single week.
Okay.
That's happening.
Yes.
Every single week, there's a treasury bill auction, either the 91-day, 182-day, 364-day.
Yes.
Make the 364-day your thing. So that in terms of your financial planning, I have my emergency funds.
Yes.
Then the next thing that I have is now, after that, I'm pushing money into treasury bills.
Fantastic.
Now, the best part is when your money starts growing,
Yes.
that return that you get, you can put it in risky assets. I like this approach because what I'm saying is I'm still defending my bottom.
Yes.
If it's 100,000, if I make 10,000 from it,
Yes.
take that 10,000, put it into risky assets.
Yes.
If I lose it, my 100 is intact.
It's still there. Yes.
If, however, I take my 100 and put it into risky assets, if I lose, I come tumbling down.
Exactly.
When you put it into that, now we start looking at risky assets.
Yes.
Risky assets include shares on the Nairobi Securities Exchange. With as little as 3,000 shillings you can invest. What I find interesting, honestly, about the NSC
Yes.
is women hardly invest on the NSC.
And is that because we're too concerned with our foundation?
You remember
Or we're just too risk averse in general?
women are generally risk averse and feel more comfortable putting money into the savings or into the businesses that they see.
What if it's a matter of not understanding the
Possibly.
mechanics of it? Because,
Possibly.
you know, when you're growing up, it's not something that you encounter on a day-to-day basis. You're
Yes.
told, save for your future. Yeah, put money in the bank for your future.
That's it. Actually, the lesson that all of us got: get a job and save.
Yeah,
And
get a
make
job.
sure you're pensionable.
Exactly.
That was about it. Then after that, you're like,
No
okay,
one
then
ever
where do we
said,
move?
look at the NSC.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll come back to that on the element of financial education.
Yes.
But shares such as Safaricom, we all use Safaricom to call.
Yes.
Safaricom has done exceptionally well over the last couple of years.
Mhm.
Looking at the things that you, the interactions that you have with the brands, because if you're interacting with them and millions of other people are interacting with them, they're generating revenues.
Yes.
These stocks give you dividend, they give you a return, and then they also give you capital appreciation.
Yes. What is capital appreciation?
If I buy something at 10 shillings
Yes.
and I sell it at 20, that's capital appreciation.
Yes.
It's a profit.
Yes.
SACCOs as well. So people put money into SACCOs either as fixed deposits, that's about 7.5%,
Okay.
or they buy the shares.
Which is more lucrative? Which would you advise?
I would say do the fixed deposit because when you buy the shares, the way it happens,
It's riskier.
it's not risky. It's not easy to sell your shares in the SACCO.
Okay.
So you probably end up having to wait for 7 or 8 years to get back your initial amount.
0.5 in Kisumu, that's the frequency. The Adventures of Stevie V, it's Dirty Cash. Good morning, I'm Olivia Otieno. This is 00 Direct, a safe space for all women. Share your questions. We're seeing them at SpiceFM KE because I'm with investment expert, CEO of Infallible Group, Mbithe Muema. And you've given me light bulbs, you know? It's just like, even Mumbi's like, do we really need that trip? Do we really need that expensive dress? Do we
No.
really need that luxury?
Let me tell you the best way to deal with that,
Yes.
how I deal with it.
Yes.
If you're going to take it, put the same amount in your money market account.
You know what our CEO said once? Remember you're listening to that address? He's like, a holiday is not an investment.
But if you have to take it, because the thing is, you can't be, what I normally say, if you're going to take that holiday for 30,000,
Yeah.
put the same 30,000 in your money market account. It's
Okay.
that simple.
Okay.
So match your expenses with your investments. So that way you don't feel, oh my gosh, when you go and have like a latte today, is it a necessity? No, it's a
Okay.
want.
Yes.
Did you need to spend that 2,000 with your friends over the weekend? So if you
No.
can afford to do the 2,000,
Yes.
you can afford to invest 2,000.
It's true. It's true. We
So
should
match
always
it.
start with the
Match
mindset
it.
of investments
Yes.
first. Okay. If you were to give parting words, right? And feel free to have the longest speech ever, because after this, we're going on to some trivia. How much do you know
Okay.
about songs about money?
Wow.
Yeah, and making cash.
Am I making money from this? Can I get supporters online? You guys, we're going to win money. Otherwise, yeah.
What are you leaving somebody with? Yeah. Who, you know, with regards to people who love to listen to 00 Direct, let's say they have 500,000 shillings, right? Today is the 19th, Saturday. Come Monday, 21st, they have this 500,000 shillings, right? this is a mother, father, 2 kids situation, right? You know, schools, how expensive schooling is. They are building a
Yes.
house, but it's not in the city. It's,
Yes.
it's somewhere out there.
Okay.
And they both earn, you know, a sizable income, you know, by average standards. They in total, I think their household has about $1 million.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
But they have this 500,000 that they've been putting money aside because, of course, they have their regular expenses. Where are they putting that money, and what sort of returns are you seeing them having by this time next year?
Can I answer that with my story?
I love it, please.
So this is what I do. So the business that I do, which is Infallible Group, it's personal financial management. We have coaching and training. This is how I started this business. So in 2019, I was in a rough spot. I lost my job. I'd taken a debt facility, made an investment, lost the money.
Oh.
I'm telling you, that pain, I think, I've learned the essence of pain. Those tears, they clear your head.
They do.
With
Oh
the
my.
tears and just on my knees, and I'm like, God, what am I going to do? I realized I'm an investment banker, but I've not been using this knowledge for myself.
Yes.
I was working as an employee, an exceptional employee.
Yes.
So I turned that whole conversation to myself. First thing I did, I looked at my personal net worth. So what are my assets? What are my liabilities? What do I own as Mbithe? What do I owe others? And I did a tally. And then I deducted the liabilities, what I owed others, from what I owned.
Yes.
That's my personal net worth.
Yes.
Now, that could sound neither here or there, but I've done it from 2019 every single year up until now. Now I'm in a very different place
Yes.
because I was able to track what am I doing.
Yes.
And I can assure you, the moment I did that, my mindset changed from don't have coffee, don't buy a shoe, to what decisions am I making with money that are aiding me and not aiding me. So first and foremost. So then I put targets for myself. So this year, when I revisited my personal net worth and I was working on my financial goals, my goals were very simple. I want to put more money in investments. Then I had fewer in investments. Now I have much more liquid investments. I have the Family Bank had a bond last year that was at about between 12.5 to 13%.
Wow.
EABL had a bond last year.
Yes.
The minimum investments for this was 100,000.
Yes.
Infrastructure bonds were last year. There was one that closed.
Yes.
It was giving 12.9%.
Wow.
19 years.
Wow.
So the questions I ask myself, do I want to wait for 5 million to build a house and go through the headache and get a 15% return? Or do I want to put the same money with the central bank? In sum, my priorities this year is I know how much I want to put aside every single month for investments.
Yes.
Because I know what net worth I want to have in 5 years. And I know what return I'm going for. So for me, I have an amount I want to put aside every month.
Yes.
And then I've decided the return that I want to get, 12%. That's the return I'm looking for. So when I'm going through all the investments, I'm like, what is giving me 12%? Infrastructure bond. Minimum investment, 100,000. It closed last week.
Yes.
That was giving 12.96%,
Wow.
already within my threshold. Then we have people who take money from here and invest in external assets.
Yes.
That's global commodities. They also invest in US stocks. That's Mansa X. Last reported item, they were giving people 15.5%
Wow.
return.
That's
So
incredible.
I'm looking at, so you're like,
Yes.
this is also within my threshold. Then the other thing is now, because I know it's the election year and there's going to be volatility on the Nairobi Securities Exchange, I'm looking and I'm waiting to see, will the prices come down? So in the the second quarter of this year, I'm already looking at what stocks are
Yes.
giving me a dividend return, but can also give me capital appreciation in
Yes.
terms of profit.
Okay.
And I'm like, my threshold is 12.
Okay.
So when I'm screening all this information, I'm like, I just need 2 names
Yes.
that in 1 year will give me 12% return. The other thing I'm screening when I'm looking at money markets, I'm like, money markets, I'm putting my money there as I'm waiting to deploy it elsewhere.
Okay.
So that's what I've done. So when it comes to answering where will I put my 500,000 today,
Yes.
it's where am I at? What do I need to do? Then the final thing that I've also been looking at is real estate. And I
Yes.
know some peers have been able to list land in the Riruta area
Yes.
and do affordable housing. That's something that's on my mind, because when I went to see these opportunities, you can lease the land, then you can come together with people, lease the land. If you do Mabati housing,
Yes.
it sounds, but you get a good return.
Yes,
It gives you
yes.
about 16% return. I'm like, that's something that makes sense.
Yes.
Final one, which I want to do,
Yes.
which I think is the absolute best,
Yes.
is lending in groups. So
lending in groups.
yes, our chamas.
Okay.
So in your chama,
Yes.
if you're in one,
Yes.
just the easiest thing that you can do is you
Yes.
lend to each other at 10% and you require everyone to take a loan once a year.
You require everyone to take within the chama.
Yes. So me and you, we start a chama, me, you and Mumbi.
Yes.
Then we contribute 10,000, 10,000, 10,000.
Yes.
So we don't know who'll have debt needs or not, because
Yes.
debt is a big thing in
It
Kenya.
is,
So
it is.
we can say it needs to go away, but it's still
It's
here.
there.
So perhaps you borrow, I borrow, Mumbi borrows.
Yes.
But what we will require is at least once you have to borrow.
You have to borrow, and
Yeah.
whatever you borrow, you have to return plus 10%.
Yes.
I love it.
Every single month.
I love it.
So if we know ourselves, the
Yes,
five of us,
yes.
you'll put your 60,000 at the end of the year.
Yes.
It's 120. So can I get into as many groups of people that I know?
Mm-hmm.
And can we then lend each other and have those requirements? Because I make a return, we make a return. So those are the priorities that I'm focusing on.
Yes.
But I'm not saying that anyone is limited or not limited to. I share this story to show a couple of things.
Yes.
Know where you're at.
Yes.
Most people have assets that don't earn the money.
True.
Don't have land that's idle. Don't do it alone. Come and do it with people. Have a target return. I have my target return. That's 12%. And I'm looking at anything. I'm even looking at things like Ethereum to see, but Ethereum will not be my core, or Bitcoin will not be my core, but I'm
Yes.
willing to put maybe 2 to 5% of my portfolio in that space.
Yes.
I'm willing to take that.
Yes.
So another investment I'm making is in knowledge, because I don't understand alternatives and I
Yes.
don't understand US stocks. So I'm also investing in understanding those markets and in classes to understand. So know where your net worth is, know how much you want to invest every month, have a target return. When you're screening through, the decision becomes so much easier, and focus on earning interest, not having your cash lying idle at all.
I've learned a couple of things. I need to get out of WhatsApp groups that are not helping me in wealth creation, that are wasting my time, and I need to register for Infallible group courses. Can you please tell
Yes.
me how we can engage with the Infallible group to invest in our knowledge?
Okay, that's a very good question. So we were registered in 2019, have been offering training from 2020 all the way to now. We have vast trainings. We have a couple of exciting things coming up. In this month of March, we're running a series of Women and Money. So women, we like to feel good about how we look and how we show up, our makeup, lashes. Like, girl, I'd like us to have a conversation of like, girl, have you seen my account? In 5 or so years, like, how amazing would it be when I'm like,
Yes.
oh yeah, girl, I did A, B, C, D. Now look at my millions in my account.
Yes.
I'd really like us to get there. So what we are doing is we have understood the beliefs and the taboos and the myths that we have as women. Now we want to have an open day on the last Saturday of this month. That's on the 26th. And that will be a physical one. So if you're interested, you can look me up on my social media, RSVP come. It's a free event.
Okay.
If that's not workable for you, then we have a virtual session on the 28th of February. That's Monday at 6 p.m. You can look me up on social media. You'll get the links. That open session will be unpacking what we want to do. Then for 6 weeks, we'll talk to women about financial planning. We'll talk to women about investment planning. We'll talk to women about retirement planning. And at the end of it all, we want them to own their journey to financial well-being and to be able to share that information with others. But this is the beauty of our curriculum. It's a blend, Olivia.
Yes.
So we have hardcore curriculum you have to read and understand. Then we also have practical sessions. We don't want you to ingest. We want you to actually come out with financial records for yourself. But the most exciting part is I'm also partnering with industry captains of industry, so that for every single unit that we are doing, there's a blend of classwork, then a case study, and then we have somebody who's giving us a practical conversation. So we want to do that for 6 weeks. We want to be able to unpack that.
Yes.
And I'll tell this conversation because we were talking about this just before we
Love
got
it.
on air.
Yes.
And Olivia told me, Mbithe, that's the wrong phrasing. This is the right phrasing from Olivia. She said, I want to make you a millionaire. Come and join our classes so that we can unwrap the way to getting you there.
Investment expert, CEO, Infallible Group. Her name is Mbithe Muema. She's on social media. You have to go to the course. Mumbi, your birthday is coming up. I am treating you to financial freedom. When we come back, get ready for trivia. Mama, who pays your bills? Who pays the telephone bills, electricity bills?
Muema. And everybody who's listening who needs to come and join us in our trainings and workshops.
It's all about money. It's all about investments. The track is Bills, Bills, Bills. Destiny's Child, 102.5 Spice FM. Kisumu is definitely listening. Good morning. I'm Olivia Odino. This is Double O Direct Woman Host. Songs by women. A focus on a different woman in fashion each week and only women guests. In a few minutes, we will get intentional about recognizing the women in our lives that have positively impacted us this week. So think about the sources of your inspiration. Think about the sources of your motivation. Think about who uplifted your heart. This is the month of love after all. Mbithe Muema,
Yes.
CEO,
Yes.
financial expert. I love that. I just love that. How well do you know music and especially songs about money? No, be honest.
Let's see.
It is trivia time. I
Okay.
need you to name
All right.
the song and the artist.
Is it?
Yeah, I was going to say only song. I was going to say
Yeah.
only artist. Let's just do a 2-for-1.
Oh, really? If
Yeah.
I can't, can I just dance and get away with it?
Don't worry, I'll help you out if you can't.
Okay, fantastic.
You ready?
Yes, let's go.
Hey, who sung the song and what is it called?
Destiny's Child, Independent Woman.
Of course, you know yourself. Okay, that is fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. I got to give you a round of applause, right? I got to clap for you. Okay, it's not called Romance Without Finance. It's actually called Ain't Nothing Going On But the Rent.
Now I know.
It's by Gwen Guthrie.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a cow for that.
All right, cool.
All right, ladies and Mbithe, it has been an absolute pleasure. You are Goals 2022. I cannot wait for the open day on the Monday because, of course, on Saturday I'm going to be working, but I'm going to be joining you virtually on Monday 28th.
Fantastic.
Is it Monday 28th?
Yes, it's
February?
Monday 28th of February,
Yes.
last Monday of February, last day of February at
Yes.
6 p.m. And I'll be sharing all the details on my social media. It's going to be a virtual setup. So
Yes.
from 6 p.m. to 7:30, just keep it locked with us.
Usually it's bath time
Okay.
at the Otieno home, but we will make allowances for this training, and
Money
I can't
time,
wait to get
money
rich,
time.
richest, thanks to Mbithe Muema and the Infallible Group this 2022.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Olivia. As always, I wish you and everybody who's part of this show all the very best.
Spice.